Hello, I'm Tracy Grimshaw. Welcome to A Current Affair. Divorce or separation is a challenging and emotional process, especially when children are involved. Right now in Australia, there's about $1.5 billion owed in child support, and some parents caught up in the system say it's unfair and sending them broke.
So I'm owed over $37,000 in child support currently.
The system is failing, it is broken.
I still had to pay child support even though my ex-spouse and my son were dead.
I'm paying my ex 100, like as if she has my son in full care when it's actually me that has him in full care.
We've got a department, a law unto themselves, and it's just not working.
The child support system was created almost 30 years ago to make sure that when it came to broken homes, kids didn't miss out. So now more than 4,000 bureaucrats assess and transfer a whopping $3.5 billion between warring parents every year. But this is one of the most complained about government programs, and no wonder when you hear stories from some who say the system is badly broken.
I find it pretty disgusting, I really do. I think kids need to be put first, and that's the last thing that's happening at the moment.
According to the government, Jenna Oakley is owed more than $37,000 in child support.
It's not fair for one parent to have all the responsibilities, as well as all the financial responsibilities to bring up children that it took two people to create.
We have so many bureaucrats who are bloody idiots that just don't know how to deal with it.
Senator Pauline Hanson claims the system is unfair and says she speaks from experience.
So I've had two marriages. My first husband paid me absolutely nothing, no responsibility whatsoever. The second husband, he paid it very minimal until he could actually, say, I can't afford this. And I just walked away from it. I said, I'll support and rear the kids myself.
I think it's beyond a joke.
Canberra dad Dean says he pays $806 a fortnight, about half his income, in child support for his son. Trouble is, his son lives with him full time.
I'm not even getting any answers or anything explaining why, really. Like, why it's not been investigated or why nothing's been done about it.
I think it's a big joke that they call themselves child support. All they are is really a glorified government collection agency.
Queensland dad James Marr was happy to pay child support until his ex-wife and son were killed in a car crash.
They were taking payments out of my wage for approximately 3 months after I'd already told them that two of my family members were deceased. I'd also supplied them with the death certificate.
The parents are going to the child support agency. They're trying to make inquiries about it, or they've got complaints. They're not interested. They are not interested in dealing with the people and their problems, their issues. They just shut down, and the people have nowhere to go.
There's no winning. I've been fighting this for 8 years now, and it is just a revolving door of there's nothing we can do, there's nothing we can do.
Remember, mum of two Jenna is owed more than $37,000 in child support, and even though assessment documents show her ex-partner's income has been as high as $185,000, the department can't seem to make him pay.
Well, if it wasn't for my mum and dad, I wouldn't have been able to do it. We've been living at mum and dad's house for the last 2 years because I cannot afford to go out and rent somewhere and have my kids living with me.
I don't understand why I should continue paying her when she hasn't had him for one single day.
Dean's son has been living with him full-time for the last 3 months, but Dean still pays half his wage to his ex-partner, forcing him to rely on family to survive.
To be honest, it's starting to get me really down. Like, I barely sleep. I just a constant worry, like it's always on my mind.
It's a system that needs to be looked at.
Former president of the Queensland Law Society, Bill Potts, says the recently announced inquiry into the family law system has to include child support.
There's no point just looking at one wheel and saying it's broken if the entire machine's stuck in the mud. We need to go and look at the whole system and see what efficiencies and what better way we can do what is a supremely human problem.
I think that there should be an inquiry into the agency. Yeah, somebody needs to take blame or for what's going on.
I think their system seriously needs to be overhauled or scrapped. I'm probably one of just thousands of people who are going through the same thing.
There are Facebook pages devoted to parents complaining about child support, and after we promoted this story last night, our Facebook page was also flooded with complaints. This Melbourne mum claiming she's owed $47,000 in child support, and this dad says he's owed $80,000.
A lot of these people feel the whole system is so unfair, they purposely don't work. They purposely don't go and look for work because it's not fair to them. And if they're in a high-paying job, you know, they got huge amounts of their money and it comes off the top before tax. And this is why they're thinking they can't get ahead.
And even when the department finally admits it's wrong, as it did in James Maher's case where he was still paying child support for a wife and child that died in a car crash, there was no refund.
Child support still owes me hundreds of dollars. I've never seen any money, and I've never got so much as even an apology from them.
One of the real problems is that there's not enough money in the system.
Bill Potts says both the child support system and the family court need more funds to operate efficiently. And he says suggestions of merging the family court with the federal court won't make a difference unless they function better.
I suspect for the average mum and dad out there in suburbia, they don't care what the court is called, so long as justice is delivered to them swiftly and efficiently and gets them the right result.
Yeah, I feel completely helpless.
And until something is done, mums like Jenna struggle to survive.
I just feel like I need to fight it because I'm just so sick of being silenced.
I feel sorry for the people out there, I really do. And if I can, I'm going to try and get some answers to this, some common sense, and change the system so that everyone gets a fair go and that everyone will be responsible to the upbringing of their children.
The Department of Human Services say the government is making changes as the result of a recent Senate inquiry that will come into effect early next year. Their full statement is on our website.